What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay Sidequests, your bonus content here every Monday on the YouTube channel. Adam, aka CS Radical, here with you, along with Jen and Chris. Kaylan had to leave early on a recording night, so it is just the two of us, the gruesome twosome, as they call us. But
They do.
we are talking about the Golden Joystick Awards, specifically the Game of the Year nominations. Now, the Golden Joysticks, compared to the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley, they do two separate Game of the Year awards, one for PC, one for console. And it actually, I think it's not a bad idea because it also gives a few more games the shot, especially with indie games. Like now that gives the PC option a much bigger chance at it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through the games on these two lists. So we got 12 games in total, and it's going to give us an idea of, what our Game of the Year nominations for 2024 for the Game Awards are going to be like. Because let's be real, like, apart from maybe one potential other game, because I know last year they did the announcements on the 13th of November, and they took any game that was released before the 17th of November, because obviously early access codes are things for a lot of reviewers. So... Actually, what I should have also done was pull up the game release list for the rest of the year to see what else could possibly hit if they were around that time. So, to think of anything that could still come out left that could possibly have a crack at it, I mean, out of what's still left to go, we're looking at, say, Metaphor ReFantasia, which is apparently getting amazing reviews on Metacritic right now. It's sitting at a 94, and for a JRPG, that's saying something.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's crazy.
And also, apparently, it doesn't run as well on PC as a lot of people would like it to. And if it's still getting reviews despite that, that's a good sign for the game. So that could be something interesting. As I keep scrolling here, because I'm looking at GameSpot's list, and they have, like, of course, every indie game that's coming out as well. Black Ops 6, I still think it shouldn't, but you never know, because if it's the first one that's going on Game Pass, you feel like they should try a little bit harder, so you never know with that.
Yeah.
The Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I don't think it should, but it's Dragon Age, you never know. Inquisition literally was a Game of the Year, so
yeah.
You never
I feel like
know.
it was the first one. Yeah.
And then if we go to the 17th of November around the same time, you would have, so the Dragon Quest remake could qualify, but that wouldn't get it. Stalker 2 will not make that cutoff if that's the case. Neither would the Indiana Jones game, but that's December. December games never get it that far in because the award show is almost around that same time.
Yeah.
Horizon Adventures might just make the cut. Lego Horizons Adventures, I should say. Slitterhead, which I said on my solo episode, I think last week, I think is a sleeper chance because either one of them or Silent Hill 2 remake might have a chance. So, like, those are all the ones that I can see that could still potentially get a Game of the Year nomination from Jeff Keighley's award show. The Joysticks have already done their nomination list, so that's out of the question. So some of those games are just not going to be considered at this point. But at this juncture, this is what they have running for their Game of the Years. So for PC, they have Animal, Balatro, Frostpunk 2, Satisfactory, Tactical Breach Wizards, and UFO 50, which I apparently really have to try because it's just a lot of, like, small, like, really well done mini games. So that's something I'm really curious about. But I think out of that, like, it's going to be Animal or Balatro. It's just a matter of which of the two. You basically flip a coin between those two.
100%, it's one of those two. I feel, yeah.
Yeah, like, if I had to put money on it now, I'd put Animal. Just because I think it has more of the art crowd, which is where the reviewer scores is largely going to come from. I think Balatro has the much more fan interest.
Yeah.
But I think critically, Animal has more interest there. And then console games of the year, we have Astrobot, Dragon's Dogma 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. So I think just based on that, we can easily make a six list for Game of the Year nominations. That's the easy part. Question is which 6?
Yeah, that's
the console game of the year. I think 4 of those games will go on for sure, maybe 5, and then one of the 2 of Animal and Balatro. That was my question when I did the solo episode last week. One of Animal and Balatro will be there, but will it be both of them? That is the ultimate question.
That would be crazy. What was the console list again? We had
Astrobot, Dragon's Dogma 2, Final Fantasy VII, Helldivers 2, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, and Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. If I had just, like, guaranteed out of the consoles, Astrobot for sure, Rebirth for sure, and Rebirth to my dismay is gonna win probably.
Yeah, that one will be on there. I could see Helldivers.
Echoes of Wisdom, because Nintendo has to have one on there.
They have to, yeah.
And if I had to pick a fourth, I still think Helldivers 2 should.
Yeah.
I think that there is a slight chance that Silent Hill 2 remake might take that spot, though.
Oh yeah, true, because it is reviewing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And again, like Metaphor ReFantagio, if its reviews hold up, might just have to get there on just based on critical reception.
Yeah,
I'd be shocked if it does, because again, having 2 JRPGs would be insane.
It would be
and
very
also,
insane.
We would not shut the fuck up during that portion when we find the nominees.
That would be the greatest live show we ever do if we did that reaction live.
Like Chris, if the 6 tiers was Balatro, Astrobot, Rebirth, Helldivers 2, Zelda, and Metaphor ReFantagio.
That would be the best year. It's weird because like this year
I would look at that list and go, I don't even care who wins.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Rebirth. Sorry, Swear, but you don't actually deserve it.
Unfortunately, Rebirth just doesn't deserve it. But yeah, that would be a really good list. And that's kind of what I'm hoping it is. It really depends on the votes and stuff like that.
And it really depends on these last couple of weeks with whatever else is left.
Oh yeah, because like you said, Silent Hill 2
on that list. Did I miss Life is Strange? I did. Double Exposure. I forgot about that too. I was like, I could have sworn that's coming out in October. Yeah, so like, there's still a few that could factor in. I want to say, though, that I think Silent Hill 2 Remake is the last one to really put a dent in anything, though.
Yes, I would
think
say
at this
that one
point,
has a chance.
It's probably decided. Like, if I was a betting man today, I don't think Silent Hill 2 even factors in. I think at this point, and honestly, I think it should be, Animal and Balatro should both be there. And then it should be Astrobot, Rebirth, Helldivers 2, and Zelda.
Yeah,
I'd love
that's
to see
actually my list too.
Metaphor ReFantagio is on there, but I'm understanding that if it isn't, because I think having 2 JRPGs would be a little much for certain people.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, I want this year to be a testament to how good the indie industry has really held their end of the bargain this year.
100%. Yeah, if it was up to me, I would 100% want both of those games included above some of the other ones. Like I would having both of them would be so huge for the indie scene. And like, let's be honest, like the amount of work they put into it and everything, like they deserve it. Like it's got to be said, like above some of these other games, the love and everything is just so much stronger in some of them, right? So
yeah, and you think some of the games that'll be left off, like granted, it's a much quieter year this year. There's not nearly like, again, the idea that 2 indie games have a really good shot at making the nominee this year is telling how quiet the AAA industry has been this year. But like, Infinite Wealth is going to be left off of this list, which is very sad to me as a Yakuza fan. Star Wars Outlaws, despite what some people are saying on and off, like, sorry, Kaylan, but like, it's not going to be on there.
No.
Senua Saga Hellblade 2 won't be, but it'll probably win some awards for like art direction and stuff like that.
It will, yeah, it's going to get art direction for sure. It was very much that.
I'm trying to think what else might. I think that's probably covering the biggest one at this point.
Yeah, like
Tekken. I forgot about Tekken 8. Tekken 8's got amazing reviews too. It might potentially be like Street Fighter, where it unfortunately just gets lost based on just there's so many other games out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because usually a fighting game would make it. Usually thinking there's one there. I don't know.
It's not nearly as many games that aren't gonna make it this year, but like there's still a couple that's like, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And there's some other ones that I also wish was there, like You and Me with the Aodin Chronicles 100 Heroes and stuff. Like there are some fantastic games.
Like if I got what I wanted, no one would know most of the games that are on the list. Like Until Then would be my game of the year at this point, and no one's played that game.
Yeah, it's just not enough people for it to get it, unfortunately. Yeah.
But I mean, like,
damn, that's a good list.
I guess it's pretty much safe to say that we're pretty much set in stone on Game of the Year. Like, do you think there's anything that could potentially factor in out of like all the ones that I mentioned?
Honestly, the only one, and because usually I find there is one like horror game on there, and that's why I feel like Silent Hill 2 could end up.
Yeah, I did say that between that and Slitterhead, if Slitterhead reviews well, that one of those might have the shot at it, just so that there's at least one of those in there.
Yeah, because it always seems there's like a Resident Evil, or last year Alan Wake 2 was on there. I just
really hope that there's no remakes. I don't, for God's sakes, like remakes should not count.
Remakes should have their own best, like, of the year, best remake of the year, or remaster of the year, or something like.
And they really should. I know that means Rebirth wouldn't technically get nominated, but let's be real, like the Final Fantasy VII remakes are completely different to what the original.
Yeah, they're just using. Yeah, no,
But,
it's
like,
not. It's not a
if the
remake.
Until Dawn remake was actually really, really good, it still shouldn't get an award. But like Resident Evil
No,
4 remake, to me, it was not deserving of that because it's not really a new game.
no, 100%. Like it's new in the sense that they
It's a
built it from
better
the ground
version
up.
of what it does.
Yeah, but it's like they didn't have to write a story. They didn't have to create all the scenes. It became like, how do we recreate it in this new engine, or how do we
Like 7
recreate it
remake
with modern
literally
graphics?
changed a lot.
Yeah, like they made new scenes. A lot of it was new, especially Rebirth. Most of it is brand new. You just know the name of the location, right? So it's a lot more work that they had to put, a lot more work they had to put into that.
Yeah, so I think at this point that like now that we got the joysticks out and we got a good sense of like what's getting the big reception here, like see for me physically seeing Dragon's Dogma 2 and oh my god, what was the other one that was on Prince of Persia Lost Crown? That tells me where the sleepers are.
Yeah.
Because I know that Astrobot's getting in. Like there's no way it doesn't. Rebirth is basically your favorite to win, so that's gonna go in. You have to put Zelda in there because Nintendo fanboys will literally shit their pants if it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like after that, it's Dragon Dogmas 2, Helldivers 2, Lost Crown, Animal El Balatro, and potentially Silent Hill 2. And if anything else reviews really well as well. Again, I want to put ReFantasia in there. I just don't think that there's going to be room for 2 JRPGs. I think they will try to diversify as much as they can.
100%. That's why I don't think it'll be there.
So like I think we've got basically like 8 games that are going to be taking 6 slots, and it's just a matter of which 2 are getting left out.
Yeah,
I
and
think
if it's
odds
not
are
those,
Dragon Dogmas 2 and Lost Crown will be the ones that get knocked out.
I think so
It's
too.
just a matter of Helldivers 2 is the only one that I'm not sure about at this point. If it goes the way that I think it should, and that Animal and Balatro will get the nominations, Helldivers 2 is the odd one out. If there's going to be a replacement.
Yeah, unfortunately, compared to the others, yeah.
So like
I can see that, but
it's basically Astrobot, one of Animal and Balatro guaranteed. It's just a matter of which one. Rebirth, Zelda, and then between one of Animal Well and Helldivers 2, one of them is probably either, maybe it's both of them still stay, but if there's going to be a replacement, one of those 2 are going to have to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's just a matter of what.
That's a good list. Damn.
And
it
honestly,
is a quieter year.
Compare it, because I got to go back and pull out what it was last year. The 2023 Game of the Year nominees.
Yeah, I remember a few of them, like Mario Wonder, Alan Wake 2. What else was there?
It was Baldur's Gate 3, which won, Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, and Super Mario Wonder.
Yes.
Resident Evil 4 should not have been there.
No.
Because
I mean, I didn't.
And it's not like me slagging it. It's just saying like there should have been other games that should have got in there.
Yeah.
Like Hi-Fi Rush not getting it. Like, my God, how poetic would it have been for that studio to be shut down after having a Game of the Year nominee, no less?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else could have possibly been in that spot, because 16 was not good enough. Jedi Survivor was not good enough, I don't think.
No.
Maybe
there was
Sea of
Hogwarts,
Stars, but I think that the year was just too busy for an indie game that year.
Yeah, I don't
this
think
year,
that
on the other hand, even if it was a busy year, I don't think you can deny one of those 2 games.
Yeah. If Sea of Stars came out this year, I think it would have been a nominee. I truly do think that.
That could have been a potential 3 indie game nominee list.
Yeah.
Because like, good luck picking between those 3 if that was all the same year.
Yeah, it would be brutal. It would be so tough.
So I'm gonna put you on the hot seat, Chris. You got to pick 6.
Shit.
We're gonna do this again, probably either the last week of October or the first week of November, anyway. But right now, knowing the list of games that I just told you, what do you think's gonna win? Let's just say don't include anything that's not on this list. Just assuming those 12 games. But let's be real, we're not counting Frostpunk, Satisfactory, Tactical Breach, Wizards, UFO 50. Just the 8 that we talked about, really.
Yeah. Okay, so pick 6 games, not my number 1. Like pick the 6.
No, just pick 6 that you think should be like in that nomination.
All right, so Astrobot and Zelda. I'm gonna go hardcore and actually say Animal Well and Balatro, Final Fantasy VII, and Helldivers 2.
Yeah, that is exactly where I'm at right now. If I'm not adding anything else in, those are the 6.
Yeah, that's okay. We're aligned. We are aligned.
Now, would I make changes? Yes, but that's not the question. So,
perfect. Aligned, but with edits.
At least sometimes you got to agree on the show. That's all that matters.
That's true.
And you know what else we can agree upon? That you should like and subscribe. That's what you should do. because we're going to take this sucker off the air. So yeah, you're watching on YouTube, nowhere else, because that's where the side quests go. So like and subscribe. Don't forget to share with all your friends. Linktree, linktr.ee/pixelplay podcast, link to our Discord, link to our socials, all that jazz. So yeah, these are now going to be on Mondays. The recaps are now on Fridays, just so that way we have like at least, if there's a story that came out, the prior week that is not completely out of date. And honestly, we want to start off the Mondays cool, so let's have some fun stuff. Like last week when I basically got really mad at myself for forgetting that Frost was a character in Mortal Kombat, stuff like that. Or in this case, us just, saying like, hey, our game's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this side quest, guys. Thank you so much for checking us out. We'll see you on the next side quest, podcast, recap, wherever you check us out here on the channel. But take care. Bye-bye for now.